A very good morning to one and all present here, to all the student members, faculty members, and the outside participants. A very warm good morning and welcome to this workshop. May I now introduce the guest speaker for this workshop, Dr. J. Jesse Kristen, PhD HRM, DTM. He is currently working with Macedit HR Services as Chief Delivery Officer, India Operations, since November 2020 until date. He has over a total of experience 29 years in the industry as an HR leader, having a strong in-depth functional expertise across all facets of human resources arena, and he also got various exposure working in education, IT services, IT product development, ITES, HR consulting sectors. He worked in different companies such as NTT Data Philips, Cambridge Solutions, Nest Technologies, Hinduja Global Solutions, SN Consulting, Network Technical Training Foundation, and Conway. He has completed his PhD in Organizational Behavior and Human Resource Management in the year 2017 with Alliance University, Bangalore. He ranked first in the batch in all 3 semesters of his coursework. He completed his master's in HRM in the year 1994 from Manipal Institute of Technology. He held the first rank in his university. He completed his bachelor's degree in Instrumentation and Control Engineering from Government College of Technology, Coimbatore. And to add on to his profile, he has done lots and lots of, he has got awards from different companies, and he has international exposures. And he's also a PhD guide for external candidates, and he's a visiting faculty for Symbiosis Institute of Business Management and a member of Board of Studies in SRM University, Chennai. So I welcome you, sir, for this workshop, and may I have his peace of mind to share with all our students.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good morning to everyone. I take this opportunity to really thank the staff members in Krishna College of Technology in Coimbatore for giving me this great opportunity to share my thoughts on this topic. So let me share my screen now. Okay, are you all able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Okay, Ms. Jemima has already shared quick brief about my background, so I'll come back to this slide a bit later. Okay. Similarly, she talked about the awards which I have got. There is a reason why I'm showing some of the awards. Okay. Now the topic is on how to develop the mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay. So I hope you already gone through some of the basics of what an entrepreneur does, how he may be approaching things differently, etc. So I just want to, I have picked up a specific thing. Entrepreneurship is a very, very vast area. So I've just picked up a very small theme, which I felt, where I can add some value and share some of my perspectives and my experiences as well. So I just want to quickly give you a perspective of this slide. I have shared some of the awards starting from year 2000 till now, till date. Now the key messaging what I would like to share here is, if you have the mindset of an entrepreneur, the main advantage is you will be successful right through your career, whatever you do. Okay, whether you run your own company, or you're working for somebody else, or you're working for an NGO, or whatever kind of things you do. So that's what I would like you to try and understand from this slide, right? Not to go too much into the each category of award. So basically, in career, I think what we should always remember is it's not a T20 match where about 2 hours, 3 hours we just watch and we are happy if India wins or whatever be the outcome. So it's not like I did well in my school or did well in my college, later I didn't progress, right? Or I did well in my first company, second company, I changed my mindset. I think that is the perspective I'm going to drive through this session. Okay, so that's the reason I'm showing this particular slide. I'm sure some of you may have much better things to talk about, which is really great. The point here is we need to sustain our momentum for a very long period of time. So that's the messaging I like to keep in front of you. Okay, am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I am going to touch upon some of the topics here today. Okay, due to lack of any other terminology, I have used the word mindset of a normal employee. Okay, it doesn't mean that others are abnormal. Okay, I just want to compare between an entrepreneur, a person with the mindset of an entrepreneur versus someone else. Okay, like any other ordinary employee, you can take it that way, right? Then I'm going to give you a few examples. Then I would like to share my perspective of how to develop the mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay, advantages of developing the mindset of an entrepreneur. What do you really gain? What are some of the responsibilities of being an entrepreneur? If you plan to start something on your own, or even if you run a big operations for a company based in India, whatever be the situation it is. So these are some of the topics we are going to quickly cover. So my request is, this is completely my personal perspective. I have not taken anything from any textbook or any such thing. So if anybody has any questions, I would request all of you to make a note of it, and we can take it up towards the end of the session. Okay, so let me start with the mindset of a normal employee in a company. Okay, now typically most of the people, when they join a company, they are in their comfort zone. They don't like to be challenged. They just want to do something which has been told to do by the immediate reporting manager. Okay, so the thought process for many people is, my potential is predetermined. I have done this course, so this is what I am capable of doing. When I am frustrated, I give up. Okay, because sometimes in school or college, we are not trained to really fight back, or we don't go through too many difficult situations in life. So when you start working in a company, you don't understand something or you go through some frustration. So the immediate thought process is, should I look for another job? Should I do something else? Okay, these are the normal things which go through the minds of most of the people. I stick to what I know. Okay, I talked about comfort zone. I stick to what I know, which means this is what I know, this is what I'm capable of. I don't want to learn anything new because I'm probably scared of doing a mistake as well. So in any case, I stick to what I know. This is another interesting feature. If you notice, anyone says or anyone tells you, I typically stick to my office timing, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? After going home, I switch off the mobile. I am not reachable for anyone to talk to me or any such thing. You can easily relate to the mindset of this employee. I am happy with what I'm doing for the last several years. Okay, many people actually want salary increases, they want a promotion, all that they want, but they are happy with doing exactly what they have been doing for the last several years. They don't want to take on any additional responsibilities. I can't work for extra hours, right? This is connected with this point, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 9 to 6, whatever. These are all, typical mindset. If I were to use the word, some of the statements what I am talking about is actually a mindset issue, right? When some people have these very strong mindsets, it's it's a bit difficult to change at times unless the person realizes that I think it's a different life. It is no more a school or a college. I'm in the industry. So if I want to succeed and do something different, achieve something, I need to be something different. I need to be flexible, right? So a lot of people quickly adapt. Many people take a lot of time to adapt. Some people don't adapt at all. So all kinds of characters we see in the industry. I can't take new responsibilities. Okay, we are still talking about the mindset of a normal employee. I can't take new responsibilities. Okay, this is another interesting one. For the salary what I am paid, I can do only so much. Okay, a lot of people have this thought process. My salary is 20,000 rupees. So this is what I will do. If they increase my salary to 25,000, 40,000, 50,000, then I will do more. Friends, trust me, companies don't operate that way, right? Or even if you start a company, you don't expect your employee to think like that. The person has to perform first. Person has to execute something, take on more responsibilities, add value to the organization. Based on that, only a company will think of increasing the salary or promoting the person. Okay, so please be aware of this. Don't assume that. Well, I'm not talking about a typical government job kind of situation. There, many people think that okay, for this salary, this is enough, right? I'm talking about the private sector where the competition is extremely high. Even if you start something tomorrow, you will expect your people also to be flexible and do more. Okay, I punch my attendance sharp at 9 a.m. and punch out sharp at 5 p.m. The same 9 to 5 I talked about. The word punching comes from the traditional manufacturing industry where people go do one punching or do a swiping now these days. And so you log in and you log out. Whatever happens in between, I'll manage. So I am a type. I'll work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If I am a type, then you can easily identify mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay, it's simple. That is a kind of a logic I have taken for this session. I can't stretch. I have already told myself that I cannot do anything beyond this, so I will not be able to stretch. If I am asked to do something, my immediate thought process is as a normal, I don't know this. I never studied in my school, or nobody talked about this in my college, or nobody talked about this. No. Now suddenly, I have to face some new challenges. So my typical mindset is I can learn at this age. Okay, this may not be applicable for most of you early 30s, etc. As a human being, willing to learn, open to learn about life. Okay, but a lot of people, this I have learned 3 years back, 5 years back. I cannot change now, or I cannot learn any new concept. Right. So these are some of the. I just given you a perspective of the classifications. Okay, the normal employee or a typical mindset of a normal employee versus now
Yes,
let's
sir.
look at the mindset of hello.
Yes, sir. You're
Am I
audible,
am I
sir.
Yes,
You
audible
can
now?
share your screen, sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you hear me up to this point, up to the last point? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's move to the next topic. Mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay. Okay, now there are some changes. The way in which this person thinks about the whole opportunity ahead of him or her. Failure helps me to learn new things. Okay. Now, if you track the success stories of many entrepreneurs, we will come to hear about a person after the person has become a success, or after the person has become popular and famous, after the person has achieved something in life. The same person would have failed several times. Okay, now that doesn't get reported in the media unless the person comes out with a book or somebody else writes about that person. So in any case, the mindset of this person is he or she is not going to give up. Any failure helps me to learn new things. That's the mindset. I am willing to learn new things. Okay, I'm always willing to learn new things even if I don't know. I would like to be challenged, right? Which means I'm not looking forward to maintaining the status quo. I would rather try and do something new, some innovative things on a regular basis. I keep trying new ways to succeed in life. I am focused on achieving my goals and not on 9 to 5 timing. Okay. I am focused on achieving my goals and not on 9 to 5 timing. Right. Next is I want to grow. The main difference is the normal employee, right, who's the opposite of the person with the mindset of an entrepreneur, is expecting the system or somebody to promote or somebody to give an increase. That person is not putting the extra efforts to make it happen. Whereas the entrepreneur, the person with the mindset of an entrepreneur, he or she knows how to create opportunities so that you can learn and grow. I want to do something different. I am eager to take new responsibilities. I will contribute significantly to the growth of the organization several times of my salary. Okay. Now, in many organizations, okay, wherever there is a target, right, wherever your output can be quantified, there is a formula either which is known to all the employees or the finance team will have the calculations. If a person is paid certain amount of salary, they're expecting few times of the salary as a return from that person. Okay, it can be 5 times, it can be 8 times, it can be 10 times, 12 times, or more, depending on the nature of the industry and the nature of the job. So this is a very important thing I would like, especially the students who are listening to me, to be aware of, because you may be thinking some company is offering 8 lakhs per annum, 10 lakhs per annum, 12 lakhs per annum, CTC as at the campus recruitment job, right? What you don't understand is, or what you don't visibly see is, the company has certain calculations made in terms of how much to expect from that employee as a return on a monthly basis, right? If not consistently on a monthly basis, or at least over a period of 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, the employee is expected to contribute to the organization in terms of certain formula. Okay, so in every sector, it may not be linked with this kind of a calculation, right? However, most of the organizations where an individual's output can be quantified, please be aware there is a clear-cut formula at the background. I am willing to stretch extra hours to meet the organizational goals. Okay. Now, this is what an entrepreneurial mindset oriented person will actually think, right? Maybe last week I missed my targets. So I have a choice whether to sleep over the weekend or waste my time over the weekend or do something extra so that when I come to Monday morning, I have tried to do some bit of catching up for the shortfall of my performance of the previous week. If I don't do that, right, last week's target plus the new week's target, it will become very, very difficult to meet. So I think it's better to plan something and stretch and manage your time. So it's not about, okay, I have been told that as per the offer letter, as per the appointment letter, my working hours is from 9 to 4 p.m. or 9 to 5 p.m. Working days are from Monday to Friday, alternate Saturdays, half a day working. All these are fine. All these are great. But the key thing is, if I am expected to produce certain output, the person with the mindset of an entrepreneur will ensure that whether somebody is asking the person to work extra or not, the person will have that feeling that last week I didn't meet my target. Let me do something extra so that next week becomes better for me, right? If I don't know something, I will learn. I'm willing to learn. I can learn new things as long as I am alive, okay? So I talked about the mindset of an ordinary employee, where the person sometimes feel that I have studied. See, some of the people in the industry feel I have done this course, based on that I got a job, right? Now, please remember, your highest qualification will help you to get that particular job, right? That is helping only to get the resume shortlisted by an employer if you want to get into a job. In future, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years later, for you to grow in the organization, that qualification is not going to carry much weightage. Qualification was useful to get the job, the first job, right? Second job, third job, fourth job purely depends on what you are able to learn and contribute. So that can happen only if you are willing to learn and you have a continuous learning mindset. Okay. Okay. Now, few other important things. Am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Okay. Now, few other important things. The mindset of an entrepreneur will be, I like what I am doing. Okay. End of the day, it is very, very important for us to realize, am I liking what I am doing? Or am I somehow managing to fit myself into a role given by the organization? Right? Now, I'll give some examples, so then these things will become much clear. First is to get into the zone of liking what I'm doing. Then I should actually fall in love with what I'm doing. Okay. Finally, I should reach a stage of getting addicted to what I'm doing. Now, these are the different stages of the journey in terms of the mindset of an entrepreneur, right? Now, you would have seen some people, they keep on trying. 5 times they have failed, 7 times they have failed, 10 times they have failed. They have got some new idea which they have been trying to do something, come out with the product. Somehow it is not clicking, right? But they are not giving up. Why? Because one is they are addicted to that idea. I want this idea to succeed, okay? So these are all some of the very, very basic qualities or mindsets required to be a successful entrepreneur. Now, how this will help actually, it will automatically bring in the feeling that I would like to be the best in my field. Okay. I just, relate to maybe school, college, team, organization, etc. You take any field. Okay. Maybe you are in your college now as a student. You are doing something very good. Now, slowly at the subconscious mind, we develop the feeling, I think I should try to be the best in my college because I'm anyway liking it, right? So what is required is to stretch a little bit extra in terms of my mindset and the thought process. It's not enough. Okay, I have got some marks. I'm happy. Can I be the best in the college? Can I be the best in the university? So I think that's where this kind of thought process will help you to become extra successful when compared to a normal person. Okay, now I'm going to share a few examples. Am I still audible? I don't want the link to be suddenly cut off. Am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm going to share a few examples. Some examples are very, very silly, okay? But I hope we'll be able to relate to this, right? In a marriage function, broadly, there are 2 types of participants, okay? I hope all of us have gone for attending several marriages. There are 2 types of participants. Type 1, sorry for using certain terminologies, okay? Type 1 is a tick mark type. What is a tick mark? I got the invitation from someone, so I need to attend the wedding. If I don't attend the wedding, tomorrow it can become an issue. When some wedding happens in my family, maybe that person may not come. These are all the thought processes going on in the mind of this person. So it's a tick mark. I have to somehow go and attend. Okay. Right? The attendance category, which means the same thing. I need to make my presence felt. Okay. How do I make my presence felt? Mostly this set of people, they just come in. Let's say the wedding invitation says that the marriage ceremony is at a particular time, maybe around 10 o'clock or 10:30, and the lunch is served between 12 and 2 or whatever. So these people, they do one dashing entry, mostly around 12, 12:30, go directly to the area where the food is served, have good lunch or dinner, depending on the timing. They immediately go on to the stage, take one photograph, right, with the bride and the groom, and they leave. So the time invested for this entire wedding is probably about 1 hour or 2 hours. They made one dashing entry, finished the job, over. This is the first type. So this first type, I am going to correlate with the mindset of the ordinary employee, the normal employee. Okay. Now I'll explain you about the type 2 category. Okay. I started off by saying there are 2 types of participants in a marriage function broadly. Okay. Now type 2 is the one which is actually, performing, which means they are doing a lot of work, right? Maybe you imagine the members of the family, right, of the bride and the groom, or even some close relatives. The family, the parents of the bride or the groom or the close family members have given various responsibilities distributed to many people in the family or in the extended family, or even some friends may come and take over some job. They have been working, for the last 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, fixing up one Kalyana Mandapa, arranging one caterer, arranging everything which has been going on maybe for a few months, right? They are quietly performing, right? And they are contributing. They are not bothered about who's going to get any credit here. It's not about getting the credit. It's about getting the work done, right? So the on the ground category, right? These people don't have time to probably be on the stage and show your nice face to the audience and take a picture with every person coming to give a gift, right? I hope you get the two different categories. Now type 2 is the one I am going to correlate to the typical entrepreneur kind of a person, right? Type 1 is also a participant. Okay, what is the role? Okay, this is my role, I will play that role. Type 2 is someone who is willing to contribute, who is willing to probably serve food or run for bringing the sambar or rasam or whatever, right? So the point is, please be aware of these 2 type of people, these 2 participants. Next time when you attend the wedding, it will be interesting for you to note and realize how this works, these 2 categories. Okay, now the normal employee mindset. Okay, normal employee mindset. I'm going to correlate this marriage function example in a company, right? Normal employee mindset. I logged in, did something, had tea, coffee, maybe 11, 11:30, 12 o'clock. Either I feel I should go and have a tea or coffee, or some friends are telling it is tea time, so I joined them for tea. Then soon I realized it is lunch break. Again, I did something. Sometimes I know what I'm doing. Many times, many people don't know what they are doing because they are so busy in their job. Okay, logged out. So this logged in around maybe 9 o'clock, logged out around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, depending on the working hours. This is a normal employee mindset correlate to a marriage function. Now the mindset of an entrepreneur. How can I contribute to the growth of the organization? Okay, this person is also coming in at 8:30 or 9. Now this person is starting to think, okay, this is my contribution right now. What can I do more? How can I bring in more revenue to the company? Now this person is not thinking as per his salary which is paid, not thinking as per the designation what he is in right now. He is thinking about future, right? What more can I do today? What new can I do today, right? So just to give you a different perspective, one is a tick mark category. One thinks that I got a job, let me do something basic level to retain the job. I am fine if I don't get any salary increase. I am fine if I don't get any promotion. Maybe once in 4 years, 5 years, if I get something, I am happy. If I don't get anything also, I'm fine. This is a typical employee, normal employee mindset. The mindset of an entrepreneur is, I want to do something different. I want my presence felt in the organization, right? In a positive way. Okay, I hope it is clear in terms of what I'm trying to explain. Now, okay, let me go to the next example. Am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Sure, thank you. Next example is, let's relate to the situation in your college right now, especially for the third year and fourth year students, if some people are attending this session right now. Getting a job, okay? In a college or university, there are two types of students broadly. I'm only giving one specific scenario. Type 1 is waiting for the placement department to arrange campus interviews, okay? They are waiting for the placement officer to announce that so-and-so date, so-and-so company is coming for the interview. Some of these people or most of these people have no or less awareness, or they've not done any preparation about the interview process. They have got no clue as to which company is coming, which branches they are going to recruit, what kind of interview process. Will it be a written test, GD interview, or will it be written test and interview, or only multiple rounds of interview? I have got no idea, right? I'm just waiting for the placement officer to announce the placement schedule. Now I suddenly wake up and I try and do something, okay? Mostly I don't succeed, okay? Now I am sorry to say that this type 1 category students, many of them, okay, there may be one or two who maybe, by fluke they may get the job. I'm not saying that it is not possible. In general, I'm saying this type 1 categories, right, will not be able to crack in the interview process, in the campus interview process, because they are not prepared, okay? Now, the type 2, which is the set of students having the mindset of an entrepreneur, they are proactively mapping the dream companies they would like to work. They are identifying a few sectors to work, which sectors I want to, specialize in future, targeting a few companies in these sectors. They may also figure out whether such companies come to my college for campus recruitment, or I should plan for off-campus. If it is off-campus, when do they do, right? Learning about their recruitment processes in advance, preparing for them and clearing the interviews. I hope you are able to get a clear demarcation between both the types. Okay, now let me go on to another example. On the job, okay? In an organization also we come across two types of people. Type 1, the first category, will work only if the reporting manager continuously monitors, okay? The team lead or the manager will have to keep on calling if it is work from home, or if you're working in office, the person has to go and check every half an hour, 1 hour, whether this employee is actually focusing on the job, or looking at the mobile and chatting with friends through WhatsApp, or the person is wasting time. Now, here is an employee who has got a job based on certain criteria he or she fulfilled initially. After joining the job, because this person doesn't have the mindset of an entrepreneur, which means person doesn't want to come up in life. Okay, I got a job. Okay, now I'll see how it goes. Now, it becomes a very difficult thing actually for the team lead or the manager and for the organization when you get such kind of people in your team, right? Because it brings down the productivity of the team. It brings down the productivity of the organization as a whole. So it is very important to identify such people very, very quickly in the beginning itself and take corrective actions immediately. You have to give feedback. You have to tell them, sorry, this is not a place. Maybe you can look for another job, maybe a government job where you don't need to do much work. You get your salary on time, whatever. Look for some other place, right? So type 1 category is the normal employee mindset category. They will not meet the desired goals or targets on his or her own. Okay. Such people, right? We might have come across such people. Normally, that employee will blame others or the situations for not meeting the assigned goal. Okay. This is not working. That is not working. There is no power. There is no this. There is no that. Right. So I hope we can relate to these situations in our day-to-day lives. Now let's look at the set of employees with the mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay. They are highly self-motivated. They are highly charged up. The person sets very high targets and goes all out to achieve the same. it is not a target set by the organization. The person sets very high targets for himself or herself. Okay. Strong desire to come up in life. Takes charge of one's own career, not waiting for something to happen. Volunteers to take more responsibilities. This person is not thinking, oh, if I do this, I'll get 50 rupees more. If I do this, I'll get 2000 rupees more. It is not about the money. It's all about equipping myself for a larger responsibility so that I can move on. I can grow in my career much faster. Okay, now next example is, in the industry, we also come across two types of people. Okay, here the topic is on career progression. There I talked about on the job. Career progression is over a period of time how you grow, right? Now you see type 1 category, people with a normal mindset will look for some external recommendation to get salary increase or promotions. Okay, now some of us would have heard about some stories about some friends or relatives or somebody working in a government job. You might have heard, right? Someone is working in, let's say, Chennai branch. Tomorrow the person wants to somehow stay back in Chennai branch itself. Okay, and this organization is transferring this person from, let's say, Chennai to Trichy or Chennai to Coimbatore. Now what happens? This person doesn't want to go. So this person will be going around from pillar to post, searching for someone, may even give some money as a bribe and ensure that you stay back in the same location and probably try and get a promotion also. Okay, this is one category. Another category is they don't want to perform actually on the job, but they try to contact different people in the organization or even outside through whom you can influence to get a promotion, right? Now, in private sector, this is not possible actually. In government sector, this is quite normal. In many government jobs, to get a job also people pay some bribe, to get promotion, to get transfer, everything, right? So please remember, this all typically comes from, I'm not saying all people working in government sector do this. There are brilliant people, excellent people who are very, very sincere also or part of government jobs. But there are many people who have this mindset that I will not work hard to come up in life. However, I will try to take some shortcuts. I will use some contacts and try to move up in the ladder. This is a typical type 1 category. Not much performance to talk about. Okay, if you are a super performer, trust me, you will obviously get salary increase. You will obviously get promotion because no organization would like to let go of a good performer. Now let's look at the type 2 category. Type 2 category is highly performance driven. Okay, the results speak for the person. It's the results speak, not about going and telling that I will do this, I have done that. People have seen that the person has done so much output. Organizations will try to retain such people because they bring a lot of value or business or results for them. This is the most important thing we should be aware. Okay. Now, in case if one organization fails to do this, if the existing company doesn't take care of them properly, trust me, the competitors will try to head on such high performance. So either your existing organization is smart enough to identify that you are a super performer, so they will be proactively taking care of you. If that doesn't happen due to some strange situations, right? Other companies in the industry are watching that you are a terrific performer in this so-and-so company. They will ensure that you get a job or you will get a call from them saying, here is a better opportunity. So eventually, if you are a high performing person, you are highly charged up, you have the mindset of an entrepreneur, trust me, you will actually continue to grow in your career wherever you work. Now, such people also create a huge demand for themselves in the market. This is the interesting part, okay? Because you are a super performer, you have a huge demand in the current organization as well as in some other organizations also. Many are talking to you at the same time saying, here is a better opportunity, are you interested? Now you are working in a company, that company is also putting a lot of efforts to retain you. Trust me, how much of a great thing is to be in this kind of a situation. So the mindset of an entrepreneur is extremely crucial and important for all of us to be consistently successful. Okay, please note the word consistently successful. It is not about, okay, now some of us would have seen the World Cup, the recent India matches, right? Consistently successful is very, very important. Now, India played against Pakistan and lost the match. India played against New Zealand and lost the match. You know what happened? They played like the mindset of the normal employee. What is the scope? I'm a bowler. I have to somehow bowl, 3 to 4 overs and try to take 1 or 2 wickets if I can. So my seat is, I have retained my slot for the next match. Okay. As a batsman, if I can score some 10 runs, 15 runs, 20 runs, 30 runs, if I am the highest among the people who have collectively performed badly, I think I am still good enough, right? This is the typical, unfortunately, the 2 days of the first match, the first 2 matches India played, India lost very miserably because suddenly this type 1 mindset came on them. Otherwise, a team which is very, 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 very highly performance driven, etc. So the risk here is, please be aware, you may be a type 2 personality, which is, you think like an entrepreneur, you behave like an entrepreneur, you perform like an entrepreneur. End of the day, we are all human beings. So there is a possibility that on a particular day, in a particular situation, we may end up with a normal performance. So the risk is to ensure that we are very alert. We don't get into that situation because it can actually lead to very, very costly mistakes, right? I hope you are able to get my perspective, what I'm trying to say. Okay, they can adapt to the situations very quickly. Okay. Okay, now, am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so I have given some perspectives from my side about. There are 2 types I have talked about. Type 1 is a normal approach. The type 2 is the mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay. Now, we have heard different aspects of or different subheadings under mindset, right? Now, the question is, how do I develop the mindset? How do I identify and how do I develop the mindset? How do I ensure that I don't get into the type 1 category at all? Right? Okay, looks like it's great to be in type 2, which means I should wear the hat of an entrepreneur. Irrespective of, okay, I'm a college student now, I can still be an entrepreneur, right? I can do things differently. I can study differently. I can actually go to a company and try to understand what is going on. Of course, your theoretical learning is extremely important because you need to finish your exams with the good marks. But please don't stop there. The type 1 category is thinking, okay, this is a 10 marks question. This is a 5 marks question. So let me somehow sit and mug it up. This is a type 1 approach. Type 2 approach is, what is the relevance of this in the industry? Which company is having this particular technique? Is it an outdated principle or is somebody still using it? So I will want to learn. Please remember, you are blessed to be in Coimbatore, where all kinds of industries are available, right, for you to visit. Now, it is not about an industrial tour, 50 people going and probably seeing one machine from a faraway distance. That is not the approach what I'm suggesting, right? The real learning happens when you figure out, when you try to learn a particular theory topic, you try to correlate to, okay, this concept is being used in which kind of industries? How many companies are available? Are there any companies in Coimbatore using this principle? How do I go and see? How do I go and understand what is happening with this particular principle or with this theory? Whatever be the thing, try to get into that kind of a mindset. Trust me, that will help you to become very, very strong practically in your subject. Okay. Otherwise, the risk is, right, most of you, I'm sorry to say this, most of you hearing me or most of you in your 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year may end up, if you don't take this, the suggestion, whatever I'm saying now seriously, may end up as like many other people have done or still doing. You finish your engineering course, then you don't work in any company, immediately go for an MBA. Now, what is the need for an MBA immediately? Has anyone thought about it? If my engineering has completely gone as a waste, right, then I start to think, looks like I am not able to settle in the industry or in my career with my engineering qualification. So I should study further. This is one set of category. Now, there are people who are extremely good practically in the subject. I would encourage those people to go and work in the industry. Don't go into a crowd, into a herd mentality. My friend is going for MBA and there is another thought process. I have to somehow finish my course at one go. Who said that? What is the point of studying? The purpose of studying is to settle in a good career, right? Good job. So if after my engineering, if I'm able to get a good job, let me work for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Let me learn the best out of it. Then based on my interest, I can study further. Should I go for an ME or MTech? Should I go for an MBA? That clarity you will get at that point of time. So don't do the mistake of spoiling your engineering degree, wasting your engineering degree, right? It should not become a fancy to say, I am an engineer MBA. You are an engineer MBA, great. But after engineering, have you worked for some years at least? Have you got some idea about which area you will fit in? Okay, that's what I think you need to think. Okay, so I'm going to share one in this connection. I'm going to share one interesting concept here. It will be connected to this topic, how to develop the mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay, am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Sure. So whether you have listened to me carefully for the last 40-45 minutes or not doesn't matter. If you can listen to me carefully for the next maybe about 5-10 minutes, I hope it can transform your life, or at least it will give you some perspective of how you can do things differently. Okay. So I'm going to introduce a concept called Kolaveri. Now, this is not the Kolaveri which probably we are aware of from the song of the film actor Dhanush. Okay. So let me go into the topic. In Tamil, okay, very means desire. Okay. Very means desire. Now, this is my version. Okay. Don't search in Google or don't search in any dictionary. This is my interpretation, my version. Kola very means the real fire and passion. If very means desire, right? Kola very means the real ultimate, the fire and passion. So let me build my story now. Okay. How do I identify my Kolaveri? Okay. I have been speaking about the mindset of an entrepreneur. How do I identify that? How do I get that? How do I retain that? Right? And I also talked about the pitfalls. Sometimes you may fall into the trap and you may get into type 1. So how do I ensure that to a large extent I stay away from that mindset and I always retain the mindset of type 2, which is the mindset of an entrepreneur. So I hope this will help. Okay. How do I identify my Kolaveri, my fire and passion? I'm going to share quickly my example, okay, so that it will be easy for you to relate as well. Way back in 91, 92, probably almost 30 years back, I was working as a lecturer cum placement officer in Karunya Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Now it is Karunya Deemed University, okay. After the class hours, I used to spend time with third year and fourth year engineering students, sharing my experiences in searching for a job, how to prepare for interviews, what to study, how to study, etc., etc. Something similar to what I am, doing right now. Based on my experience, I had some probably about close to 3 years experience before joining Karunya after engineering. So with that experience, I was trying to give some tips to the students who are in third year and fourth year engineering. Okay, now I tried something different. Okay, I'm talking about this story which was 30 years back. As a placement officer, in addition to taking care of the normal placement activities like arranging for pre-placement talks, campus interviews, etc., etc., I arranged weekend jobs for poor and deserving students in Coimbatore city and Sipcot industrial area. Okay, so I identified a few students who were in third year and fourth year who come from financially poor background, who are not able to even pay for the mess bill, etc., in that category, but who are actually studying well. So I identified a few people more as a pilot, and I took them to some of the small companies in Sipcot industrial area and the city. So I tried to place them in smaller jobs. Okay, I tried to place them in a lathe where a one-man show, a lathe operator is the own business. Somebody is running a lathe. So I will go and speak to that person and say, this boy wants to work here on Saturday and Sunday. Can you please give some opportunity? Okay, somebody from third year B mechanical branch. Okay, so this person will say, okay, I'm fine. Then the salary we discussed and agreed for 50 rupees per day. Okay, that point of time it was 50 rupees per day. 50 into 200 rupees over the weekend into 4 in a month, about 400 rupees. Trust me, that 400 rupees was sufficient for taking care of the mess bill for this student. per month. Okay. Now, like this, it started. So I think about 8 and 15 students actually managed to get jobs over the weekend, and every weekend they go. Saturday, Sunday, they start going. Now, when I started doing all this, now this is not, please remember, this is not the standard job description of a placement officer. Okay. Placement officer's job is not to go around, in the city and, go and beg with every company, yeah, please give some job for my student. That is not the job of a placement officer. Okay. Even then, even now, that is not the JD. Now, I started doing this in a very different way. Now, when I was doing this, what was happening in me, right, as a person? I was in my comfort zone while I was doing all this. I had a tremendous level of satisfaction while doing this. It was easy and natural for me as a personality. I was enjoying what I was doing. Okay. So please make a note of the last 4 sentences where I have mentioned with dark green color. Now, these are all some symptoms for you to identify whether I am operating in my Kolaveri zone or not. Okay. After finishing my instrumentation engineering from GCD Coimbatore in 89, right, we were in the 3rd batch of instrumentation when the instrumentation got introduced in the university for the first time in Bharatiyar University that time. So we did not get any core instrumentation companies coming to us for campus interviews. We were asked to go for hardware selling, the HCL hardware box, that point of time, the PC days. And so many of us, didn't get to, did not get the right job actually as in instrumentation field. So we had to come out of the college and look for jobs. So eventually I went to Chennai. I started doing all kinds of different odd jobs. Then I managed to get a job in an instrumentation company based in Trichy. I went for 2-3 turnkey projects in a place called Obra Thermal Power Station in UP. Then I was in a project in Cochin Refineries Limited, a 40 tons per hour capacity boiler as an instrumentation engineer. All these things I did. Okay. Now, after spending about close to 2.5-3 years, I did some selling job. I did some marketing job. So I have tried 4-5 different things. Okay. Now, when I am in Karunya doing this activity, slowly I am trying to get a feel that I think this is what I'm going to like. This is what I'm loving right now. Okay. So somewhere in my inner mind, I felt I think I should continue to do something related to this activity for my career. Okay. So that's so. So, okay, these 4 sentences, please remember, you need to get into identifying your Kolaveri zone. Okay. Kolaveri for me may be something, Kolaveri for you may be something else. Your fire and passion may be something else. It will vary from person to person. It is very important to identify what is the thing which is actually generating a lot of fire and passion for me as an individual, right? What is it which is making me to think 24 hours? Okay, I need to do something in this line. This is what I think I'll be able to do naturally without changing my personality. It comes very, very easy for me. I don't need to worry about it. I don't have any pressure. I don't have any tension. If I do this, I am so happy. I think that is how you try and identify your Kolaveri zone. Okay. Now, you can start loving your job, and that can also become your Kolaveri in future. Okay. I have just given you some thoughts now. You need not identify it today afternoon, right? It may take some time because you will have to figure out what is it which is driving you. What is it which is so passionate to your heart. Okay. So you get into a job and then you can start liking it. Is there any other way to identify my Kolaveri? Yes. You can convert your hobby as your job and make it as your Kolaveri, which is fire and passion. Then the best thing is you don't need to work for the rest of your life. Best example is A.R. Rahman. I am sure none of us would have heard any motivational talk from A.R. Rahman for 40 minutes, 1 hour. Why? Because that is not his Kolaveri. His Kolaveri is only to compose music. So he gets up in the morning, he is thinking, what new can I do today? Yes, he forgets about all the world record music, what he has created in the past. That's how you enjoy in your Kolaveri zone. He doesn't speak. He need not go and make some lectures. He need not go and address any audience, not required. Normally, if you have listened to his speeches, he will hardly speak for some 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, because he is not a speaker. That is not his calling. So it is very important for each one of us to identify our Kolaveri and then pursue in that area. Now I'm going to, okay, am I still audible? I'll take another 5-10 minutes to wrap up the session. Am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm going to share a few specific examples, okay, to make you understand how this is useful. From Karunya, I decided to pursue a course where I can continue in this line, okay. So I went to MIT Manipal and I attended the interview for my MTech Engineering Management program. And during the interview process, I understood that they have selected me. Now, suddenly a thought came in my mind in that meeting itself. There were 4 people there, principal, the HOD and 2 other faculty, other department heads are there in the panel. Suddenly a thought came in my mind. So I asked them, in my previous assignment in Karunya, I was a placement officer. These are all the things I have done. I would like to assist your placement department because in MIT Manipal, it's a very, very established placement cell. So I asked them, can I represent the MTech, the PG students, and can I be part of your placement cell? They thought it's a great idea. They said, okay, fine. I didn't stop there. Suddenly a thought came in my mind. I asked them, is there any possibility of giving me a stipend for this role, what I'm going to do? So to some extent, they were actually stunned because they were not prepared for that second question. The panel quickly discussed and they sanctioned, they wrote on my paper, a stipend of rupees 1,000 per month. Friends, this 1,000 per month, way back in 92, 93, 94, this amount was more than sufficient for me to take care of my entire monthly expenses, including my accommodation in YMCA hostel in Udupi to Manipal, 5 kilometers, traveling, food, everything was fine. I did not have to ask my dad a single rupee for my PG program. So the point, what I'm trying to correlate here is, imagine if I had not identified my Kolabari, I don't think I would have got the guts to speak about, can you make me a placement coordinator? Can you give me any stipend? I don't think I will have the guts. Why would anybody, can you imagine a student asking an interview panel all these questions? I don't think it is that easy. I don't think it is possible at all. Because of that, I felt, I think I should try and convert this opportunity beyond only being a student of MTech program. Okay. So this happened thanks to identifying my Kolabari much earlier in my career. Okay. Now, later my Kolabari became recruitment in the corporate world and further it got expanded into overall HR. So I worked in Philips for about 5.5 years. I had a manager by name Mr. Mahalingam, Mali. He used to tell in the official meetings, for Jesse, recruitment is his first wife. Because to that extent, I was liking recruitment, I was loving recruitment, I was addicted to recruitment. Okay. Now, where did this start? This whole thing started by doing some small activity of helping some poor students in Karunya to get a job there. So imagine how you can convert your small starting point into a tremendously successful career later. Okay. You will handle difficult assignments. Now, those days, hiring software architects for Philips used to be a nightmare. I used to enjoy those assignments because I will not take it as a pressure. Whenever a difficult assignment comes to me, I used to think, here is one more opportunity God has given me to prove to the organization that why I am still required in this company. Right? While many others who think, oh, this is a job, this is a tough thing, it's a difficult thing, they will crumble under pressure. If you have the mindset of an entrepreneur in your assignment, in your job, you will think differently. You will think, okay, here is one more opportunity for you to learn and prove to the world that why you are different. Okay, you will put all your efforts to be the best in your field. Okay, now I'll give you an example here. So I worked in Philips for 5.5 years, initially about 2.5 years as head of recruitment based in Bangalore for Philips Software Center. Then I moved to Hong Kong as head of recruitment for the entire Asia Pacific region for complete Philips electronics, including manufacturing, managing about 14 countries in the region with about 50,000 employees. Okay, the first Indian to do so in the history of Philips, which is more than 100 years old. Now, what I'm trying to say here is, if you look at my background, I come from a very, very normal, ordinary background. Okay, I did my 12th from Government Boys Higher Secondary School in a small town called Marthandam in Kanyakumari district of Tamil Nadu. Okay, now until my 5th standard, I studied in a thatched roof school. Whenever it rains heavily, the headmistress will immediately ring the bell, which means we can go home now because the water will start falling on our head. Okay, so what am I trying to say here? Friends, it is very, very important to identify your Qualabari, which is easily linked, which will help you to create the right mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay, please remember, you don't need to work for the rest of your life. Now imagine I am talking about some very, very interesting things, right? Which a normal person will not be able to do all this. Okay, you will do impossible things. I'll share one more interesting thing. When I was working in Hong Kong for 3 years, my assignment came to an end. So Philip said, now you need to move back to your previous role in Bangalore. So I said, look, I have come here all the way to Hong Kong as head of APAC region. So let me try for similar opportunities if I can get, so that I can continue to stay for some more time either in Singapore or in Hong Kong. So now here comes the interesting part. I hope you are able to read this sentence. I had sent my resume to Bill Gates. Microsoft was managed directly by Bill Gates those days in 2004, 2005. Then Michael Dell is still the acting chairman of Dell. Jeff Immelt, I don't know who's the CEO of Jeff Immelt, GE right now. Jeff Immelt was the successor of Jack Welch and he was the head of GE globally. So I managed to get the email IDs of all these people from my friends working in these companies. And I wrote to these people directly saying that I am looking for a similar opportunity to head your recruitment function for the APAC region. So friends, I sent an email on a Friday, okay, and I traveled to the subsequent week. I was in Philips in Shanghai to conduct some training session for my team there. In 3 days of sending my resume to Michael Dell, the chairman of Dell, I received a call from the APAC HR head of Singapore. From Singapore, a lady called me to say, Mr. Jesse, you have shared your resume to our chairman, Mr. Dell. As per our process, any profile shortlisted from chairman's office, we are expected to interview the candidate within 3 working days and give the feedback to the chairman's office. So if you have some time, I'd like to talk to you. The call went for almost 45 minutes. And of course, finally, she said that the structure in Philips versus Dell, it was different. So they did not have a similar role there. She said, if something comes up in future, we'll definitely come back. So imagine, I did not send my resume. I did not post my resume in Naukri or Monster or TimesJobs, which most of us are thinking of doing even today, right? Now, from where I got this thought process to think I should send my resume to these 3 people who are supposed to be the corporate giants, actually, those days or even now, these companies are very, very huge actually globally. What gives you the courage? Please remember, it is a Qualabari, right? Basically, the thought process is, I feel that I have done some good work at the APAC level for Philips, so I am capable of getting these jobs. Now the thought process, how do I approach these companies? Should I get one email ID of one HR person, one recruitment person, and send the resume there and keep on, following it up, saying that I send my resume, did you receive it? When will you call me for an interview? That is a traditional approach. The other approach is, I have got nothing to lose in life, right? Do these people know me? No way. I am a very, very small, ordinary person. Do I know them? Yes, I know them. That is more than sufficient for me to try this approach. So what I'm trying to say is, whether you are in your first year engineering, second year, third year, fourth year, if you want to be really, really successful in your career, please remember, career is a period of about 25, 30 years. It is not just your first job. Okay. If you want to be successful, quickly identify your Qualabari. Okay. In case, if you are unable to identify your Qualabari now, don't worry. You can join a company and you can develop your Qualabari in the following areas. Any one of the fields where you join, right? Once you join a company, start liking the job, getting into the next phase of loving the job, then you try to move on to the stage of getting addicted to the job. Once you are set in that mindset that, okay, this is what my field is, now it may take a couple of iterations. You may get into one field. You may, after 3 months, 6 months, you probably get a feeling, maybe, I need to put a lot of efforts to do this job from a mindset point of view, or I am under pressure in certain situations. So let me try another thing. So maybe 2 or 3 iterations you may have to do if required, but please try to identify your Qualabari very, very soon in your career. The advantage is, for the rest of your life, you don't need to work. You will just you will realize that somebody is paying for your hobby. I'm sorry, I've taken 7 minutes extra. I'll try to wind up in the next 2 minutes. So, am I still audible?
Yes, sir. You're
Yes,
audible.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just last 2 more points. What do you gain by developing the minds of an entrepreneur? Okay, what are the advantages? You have a lot of positive energy, right? You are not like the normal person who will be thinking, "Ayo, Monday morning has come. One more day I have to go and work in the office. I don't know what kind of tension. I don't know what kind of pressure I'll go through in life." You are fully charged up because you want to do something new for the day. You have clarity in terms of your career goals. You are very clear as to where you are heading. You spend less time complaining and focus more on solving issues for others. Finally, you'll be a very happy person. Okay, I think because see, the advantage is once you identify your Kolabari and you set in that zone, you continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and one day you will realize that you are actually one of the best in the world in that field. As simple as that. But it calls for a lot of sacrifice. You need to spend a lot of time. You need to put in a lot of extra efforts. Nothing comes free in life, right? You need to really work very hard. But the advantage is you will not be under any pressure because you are enjoying what you are doing. So you will, though you may be frustrated once in a while, but overall you will be a happy person because you have control on what you are doing to a large extent. You are not waiting for things to happen. You make things happen for you and for others. Okay, you will have a lot of control on your destiny. These are some of the advantages of, okay, you manage your career, your future, and to an extent you manage your life itself very, very peacefully. Okay, now one more last thing, responsibilities of an entrepreneur. Okay, we have heard a lot about how do I develop the mindset of an entrepreneur. Now, what are the responsibilities? What are some of the responsibilities? Do things which are legally right. Okay, whether you are working in a company with the mindset of an entrepreneur or you start your own company and give jobs to others, please do things which are legally right. An example, pay taxes properly. Don't get into setting a company which will, turn out to be a fraud, right? Please don't do all that. We are expected to do certain things in a particular way. You have to pay taxes. Whether you are an employee or you start becoming an employer, you need to pay your taxes properly. Whatever be the company related taxes or electricity bill or everything, nothing, no fraud transactions. No illegal or no fraud transactions from a bank, borrowing from a bank and running to another country. I think finally what will happen, we will have some certain expectations from an entrepreneur. We are thinking that these guys are the role models, and overnight, it comes down crashing. So don't get into that kind of a lifestyle. Do things correctly. This is another very important thing. Do things which are ethically correct. Okay, I'll give an example. Recently, about a month back, we were approached by one of a large US-based liquor company. Okay, they wanted to recruit a country head for India operations. Okay, it's a very large company. I think 4 or 5 US $1 billion turnover company. They want to get into India for the first time. So they approached us saying, okay, we listened to the story and the salary they were willing to pay up to 1 crore. Okay, how much? Up to 1 crore rupee for that person. And so if we had taken up that assignment, I am heading an HR services organization. So we also do recruitment for various companies, large companies. If we had taken up this assignment, we could have probably made around 10 lakhs billing, right? By placing the appropriate person from a competitor company into this company. We could have probably charged about 10% of the annual CTC and we could have got about 10 lakhs, which could have helped me to achieve maybe some 50% of my revenue target for the month, for the branch, right? Now, after listening to this nature of business very carefully, I told my, the salesperson, we are not going to take this assignment. So he was actually surprised. Sir, we will get about 10 lakhs revenue. I told, look, in a country like India, where every state has got all kinds of problems, with the people getting into liquor. Now, okay, I'm addressing people in Coimbatore. So I'm sure you are aware of the problems related to TASMARK, right? The official data says that close to 50% of the families in Tamil Nadu are suffering due to TASMARK. Okay, I don't know how many of you are aware of this statistics. So I think we need to be socially responsible as well. just to do some business, we should not do the business, right? Now, can I stop that company from starting their operations in India? I cannot start. Why did I not take up their assignment? I am supposed to speak to some of the very senior people in the industry who are in a similar job to say that what is the job responsibility? This fellow has to start opening more liquor shops across the country. Now, whatever we already have itself is spoiling the country. All of us know, right? So I felt we should not do this as a company. Can I stop that company from coming into India? No, I cannot stop. I'm sure they will approach some other headhunting firm to help them to recruit the person. But the point is, as an organization, you need to take a stand. It is not about somehow making money. It's about doing things which is right in your context, right? Maybe in a developed country, it is okay. It's a different kind of a thing. People are matured. There are different time zones. There are different things available. In India, we are a poor country. Let's accept the reality. Very, very few people are rich. And most of the people, most of the men, unfortunately, especially in some of the states, they are working very hard in the daytime, evening, whatever money they get, they just go and drink and waste the money. So the wives will have to go as a maid in a house. It's all absolutely not required, right? So the point is, now tomorrow don't say you have become an entrepreneur and don't open a liquor shop. There is no point in you becoming an entrepreneur and opening a liquor shop. I hope you are getting my point. So do things which are ethically correct. Be a responsible person. Many people who look up to you and you become their role model when you start a company. Okay, don't get featured on first page of Times of India for a wrong reason. Again, I'm coming to the same story, right? I am aware of many of my friends or many senior people in Bangalore. Sometimes, maybe in the night or over the weekend, they go for a party and they lose the control, and somewhere on the traffic around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they are stopped by the traffic police and they leave their cars and they go home. Next day, silently, they send somebody to bring the car. Now, what is the need for all this, right? See, what is the point in studying? What is the point in having great qualifications from IITs and IIMs if we don't become a responsible citizen? Finally, it is not about where we study. It is all about sticking to basics. Are we able to guide the next generation? If the answer is yes, please continue. Don't smoke, don't drink, okay? Use that money to help someone in an orphanage or an old age home. You know how much money is required to support a child in an orphanage or an elderly person in an old age home in a very, very professionally managed organization? Hardly 750 rupees per month. So if somebody listening to me today has the habit of smoking cigarettes or drinking liquor over the weekend or during weekdays, whatever it is, just do the calculation. If it runs into a few thousands per month, please use that money, stop these habits. Please use that money to sponsor the lives of a couple of people, right? That will give you a different, maybe you will identify your Kolaveri there, right? Because you never know what you can see. It's all a small trigger. End of the day, I should do something which I like, something which I love, right? So help people who are in need. Be an ambassador of Sri Krishna College of Technology, Coimbatore in future. Provide internships, projects, job opportunities to the students of your college. The same thing, same issues you are facing right now today. You may be thinking, which company is going to give me internships? Which company is giving me project? Which company is going to give me job opportunities? However, when you get into a position of a very senior person in any corporate or you start your own company, please go back to your college and do something for the students, right? Even if you can give internships for 5 students or projects for 5 students, give jobs for 3 students in a year. Trust me, it's a phenomenal contribution you are giving back to the institution. Okay. So with this, I would like to stop. I hope the session was useful. I'll be happy to take any questions. So thanks to convener Dr. P. Tamije Selvi and Miss Darling Jemima. By the way, Jemi is my niece, my sister's daughter. So thanks, Jemi, for inviting me for this session. So I'm open to take any questions now.
Students, if you have any questions, you can interact with sir, or you can even post it in the chat. Is there anyone else willing to share the feedback?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Fredolin, go ahead.
First of all, good morning all. I'm glad to present the feedback of this session. So today's meeting was a special, cool, and interesting one, and I don't have any idea of how this art passed away. So this meeting was so helpful to know the difference of a normal employee and an entrepreneur, how he would act on a particular situation. And this meeting was helpful to know about how to develop the mindset of a successful entrepreneur. And the examples given by Sir was just awesome. The masterpiece of this meeting was the topic fire and passion, which I personally liked very much. And this helped us to know how to find our passion that we have and how to convert our passion into a fire and be successful. Then we also came to know how to reach the impossible things and be successful in that. Explore more on being a successful person, advantages of having a successful entrepreneur mindset, and how to develop it. So thank you, sir, for this wonderful meeting, and once again I thank you for conveying your ideas to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Any
Anyone
questions
else?
from anyone? Either it was completely blank or everybody enjoyed the session. Nobody wants to speak.
That was really informative, actually.
We didn't go the hard.
Yes, Subhashri or Tejashni, go one by one.
Sir, it was truly enjoyable. As Fridolin said, we didn't know how from 10 to 11:30 it had passed now. So it was so enjoyable.
Subhashri,
Examples
can you
were
please
really
increase
practical.
your mic? Increase the volume.
Yes, sir. Now can you
Yes,
hear me,
yes,
sir?
yeah. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. It was very enjoyable. We didn't know how time passed, sir. As Fridolin said, all the examples and all the situations were like what we undergo in our daily life. It was so practical. It would occur a day or after in our future. So it was so informative, sir. Thank you, sir, for making it so cool.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Sir,
Tejashwini?
yeah, actually, like what I wanted to say was, yeah, like she said, it was very informative. Also, usually we are taught, like, okay, this is a good mindset, this is not, but we're not taught how to make it a habit. You get what I'm saying? Like, how to maintain it. But when you said, like, we understood how to keep it going, like, instead of just developing a habit and leaving it as it is. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, it was really, really informative. Though I did join a little late, it's always been a big dream of mine to be an entrepreneur and have especially a successful one. So I'm really thankful to you for giving me a new mindset and a new way in which I need to look at this dream of mine. And I'm very, very thankful for this session. Thank you so much, sir. The presentation, everything that you said, it was really, really informative. And I feel very hopeful about my dream right now.
Sure, thank you. Anybody else? Any questions? Other than thanking, any questions are there or any thoughts? Anybody
Students, do you
else
have any
would like to say
questions?
anything? Okay, so Jimmy, if you receive any further feedback, kindly collate it and share with me.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will share you. So they have one question from Arul Edwin. Do you know any entrepreneurs personally?
Yes, I know many people personally. Yes, Arul. So you can actually call me on my mobile. It is 97318 99440. Yeah, this is the number. In case if you need any specific tips from some of the people, I can put you onto those people.
Students, please fill that feedback form. That will be more helpful for us. So kindly give your personal details as well as the feedback. On behalf of the management, Principal Dr. Srinivasan Alavendar and Dr. Tamal Shelvi Ma'am, Head of the Department CSE, and on behalf of all the faculty members and students, I like to thank Dr. Jesse Christian sir for accepting our invitation, that too on being and weekend, for sharing your peace of mind on entrepreneurship and how to be an entrepreneur with good mindset. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for all the valuable thoughts and ideas that you have shared to our students. I hope it was really an informative and wonderful session for all the students, especially most of the students are from the first year. They are into their induction programs now. I hope they would have also enjoyed a lot. I like to thank all the students, inclusive of second year and third year, final year students, and faculty members who have joined for this session. Once again, thank you so much, sir. We are hoping to hear lots from you in near future.
Thank you, Jimmy, and all the best to all the students. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Students, please share your feedback. Don't forget to fill that form. I want all of you to kindly fill that form and then you can leave the session. Thank you, students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
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 Thank you, ma'am. Link is there in the chat. Those who didn't see that link, you can please fill it. Thank you, students. You can leave. You can fill that form and you can leave. Thank you.